Welcome to a Spa Girls mini tip session. We focus on the burning questions authors have in order to write better and sell more books. Let's go.
Hi and welcome to the Spa. This is the Spa Girls mini session. Today we're talking about 5 ways to end your chapter so readers want more. So that's exciting. Now, number 1.
So let's leave them in the middle of an action. So we have a climatic event that we've thought up in the first chapter, and the second chapter is going to lead on from there. So we're not going to give them everything that's happening. We're just going to say something happened, or we're going to be shocked that something's happened. End.
Yeah. That's
So
exactly right.
But it's an action thing, right? Like, so
Yes. Yeah.
like more in it, like I'm thinking of it in terms of like, so my urban fantasies, like I don't know, maybe I have more of the action scenes than you guys do in kind of, but I'm like in a fight scene and someone's just punched someone and then fall into the floor and then you leave it and you go to chapter 2 because, oh my God, are they going to survive? Is this person going to get them and that's it? Or, like that kind of action.
And it's a chance to then switch so that the second head can come in, the second point of view can come in and see the scene in a different point of view,
The person that's fallen. Ow,
absolutely.
that hurt.
Ow, gosh, my tooth fell out, that sort of thing.
I thought it was real then. I know, waiting for the blood to come. But
okay, number 2.
So that maybe that's an example of a surprise ending, right? Well, we'll talk about that later. But number two, leave them with a question, or ask a question. So the character can ask a question or the reader can ask a question in their mind. So for example, holy heck, I think Luke is my father. Is he my father?
Luke, I am your father.
End chapter.
End chapter.
That man in the big black mask, my father. That kind of thing. So it's asking a question. It doesn't have to be even a huge question. It can just be a small question. It can be, hang on a second, is that so and so? I thought if you're writing a cozy mystery, for example, could sweet little Aunt Mary actually be the murderer here?
Yes. Is
that
that
can be
possible?
an internal question. I think asking a question always gets us moving on. I also think the best way to think of this is how when you're in the old days, showing our age here, but when there were commercial breaks in between on episodic TV shows, they always ended often on a question,
because we want the reader to come back.
That's right.
You want to get the last thing you want is them to put the book
I
down.
think it's a newbie mistake to that we all did, that we don't finish the end of a chapter. My first editor was big on it,
right?
Make it punchy, Wendy. I don't want nothing, just because the grass is growing
doesn't mean you have to talk about it.
That was my thing. They always they resolved something and then they'd go to sleep or they'd leave the room, and that is just like a just the energy of that goes
Absolutely.
So number 3 is
create an arrival. So you're in a room talking about something, dun dun dun, door opens and shocking person walks in, or long lost father who you thought was dead walks in, or great Aunt Mary walks in with a chicken in one hand and you weren't expecting the chicken. I don't know, but create someone coming in, create something, aliens land, an arrival, something that's maybe unexpected.
Someone we thought was dead, or someone who you've been gone for 15 years and now you're back suddenly type thing.
The last person your character wants to see arrives, like you've just spilled mud all over yourself. You've got milkshake snorting out your nose and your crush walks in, or whatever, set up a situation. Someone's arriving, that means that person's going, oh my God, I have to find out what happens next, which I guess is the point of everything that we're talking about here. So
and with that, it could be they just opened the door and they see this person, but you as a reader don't know who that person is, but they're so shocked. And you've got to read on to find out who it is.
Exactly. Or it could be a giant cake on the doorstep and you know that you can hear somebody breathing inside the cake. Just saying.
Nice.
It could be.
It could
be. Your mind went there. Why not?
A giant person cake. That's exactly right.
We've all used that in our books too.
I
think
several times.
One of them.
Could be a TV crew arrive on the doorstep. I don't know.
And the cake. I like it.
In the cake.
All together in the cake. It's a big cake.
I think number 4. is someone said something shocking. So this could be,
it's
you
a really
know,
big cake.
yeah, a really big cake.
And it was shocking to them.
Yeah, and it was shocking to them that the cake was there, but the real shock was that it was banana and they like chocolate. So,
There you
you
go.
know, like anything like that.
Yeah.
I think
Or
it's something.
unless they were deathly allergic to banana and somebody's just delivered them a banana cake,
Okay,
right?
let's pull it back. We'll pull that back now. And I think that when someone says something shocking, it's like, what is shocking?
Moment, right?
I don't love you anymore.
No, but you believed one thing and then someone's out of the blue says something
And it's
you're like,
upsetting.
I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon. I didn't know that great Aunt Sandy's niece 15 times removed, you know, rode elephants for a living when she grew up.
I feel like that's not shocking enough. I feel like shocking has to be
she
big.
did it naked.
I'm your twin brother.
Yeah,
I
am your father
on your back.
Those are shocking.
Yeah. She did it naked on her back, and she's always been a prude, and she's now a nun. You know, like there's just so many options there. No, but something really shocking that just jolts you, and you're like want to read on quickly to find out what they're talking about.
And can I just say, for the sake of keeping the story actually readable, it's shocking to the character from whose point of view it is. Like Wendy may not be shocked by a naked elephant rider at her doorstep. However, I may be.
Some people may.
It's got to be about the character, what's shocking to them, I think.
Absolutely, it does.
I mean, that's for all of these situations, right? It's all about what's shocking and I think it's also about moving the story forward. Like I don't just make some kind of random shocking revelation that's then got nothing to do with the rest of the story and is never mentioned again, because I kind of think that's superfluous. Like you kind of want something that's going to move the story forward.
Every chapter has to be like that.
Yeah. So it's not just whatever you can think of that's most freaky out.
I just finished writing a chapter where he'd thought about the heroine for years. He'd never seen her. They drifted, whatever had happened, and then the scene was he walks in the door and there she is. You know, boom. Like, holy, when did that happen? Okay, who's on number 5?
Number 5. So we're going to leave our readers with a big reveal, a big revelation, something that they had never anticipated in their whole entire life, and it's happening right now in front of them. And how are they going to react? And is the revelation something that's actually physically happened or something that they've just heard about? And so therefore, are they dealing with it in an external way or an internal way? Are they going to be thinking about it as we leave the chapter, or are they actually going to physically do something because, you know, they found this out and it's so amazing or so awful or so... Again, shocking.
So it could be because it's different, like it's almost wider than shocking. Like shocking is one aspect of it, but a revelation could be like you say,
this changes everything.
It could be good, it could be bad, it could be, you know, it changes everything.
But everything changes from that moment. That's a pivotal moment.
That would, you wouldn't want to have too many revelations at the end of chapters though. That's a special kind of chapter. I feel like
mix it up. I think with all of these ideas, it's mixing it up to keep and the whole idea is to think of it as pulling your reader through the story and preventing them from, like I said before, closing that book or putting it
because there's a lot of readers out there, and I didn't realize this because I can stop anywhere, but a lot of readers won't stop until the end of a chapter. And so that's how you get them, like those and so if you get to one of those readers and they're at the end of a chapter and then there's this massive revelation or something shocking happens, they're going to be like, oh, I better just check the next chapter just to make sure. Is that what happens to you? And then suddenly you're in the next chapter and you have to read the next chapter. Next minute, it's 2 a.m. in the morning, you're due to go at 6 o'clock for a run and you're a little bit
because I do that every morning at 6.
Well, I mean, I know that's why I said running at 6 a.m. because I knew that was you all over. But
as authors, that's what we want for our readers. We want them to be so hooked they don't want to put that book down.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what you're doing. So you're not just writing. Each of those chapters is a very definite endpoint that you need to think of in and of itself, not just.
And it is something you need to really work on because that's the way you're going to get them to read through. But I think we've covered off everything there.
I mean, we're going to talk about chapters more in our
absolutely.
Little
but
sessions.
for now,
and just remember, in terms of don't overthink things, keep it exciting, but also remember you don't have to hit a specific. I've seen that quite with a lot of new writers. You have to have 1,500 words or 2,000 every chapter, so they're kind of writing to the word count rather than writing to the elements in the chapter. So I'd say put think of your hooks pulling that reader through over and above whatever word count it is.
Perfect.
Very good.
All righty.
See you in the
later.
next
That's it.
session.
Exactly.
Bye.
Keep well. Bye.